welcome to the video. I'm Jessie. Thank you so much for joining me. It feels like summer has arrived here this week, which I'm feeling pretty excited about. There is a creative project I want to do this week, another thrift flip with some picture frames. So that should be fun. And we'll just see what else we get up to this week. Today I need to go to town and run some errands, some just boring errands. I need to go to the pharmacy and I need to go to the UPS store. Yeah, so real exciting stuff. But I also need to grab some potting soil. So I might take a look at the plants in the nursery section, see what those look like. I'm excited that it's finally warm enough to wear shorts and I get to wear these stinking cute shorts that I dyed. I really like this outfit. Okay, anyway, let's get out of here and head to town. All right, I want to get started on this picture frame project. I have these very plain, simple frames. I'm going to add some stuff onto them to make them look like a little bit antique. Just like make them look ornate and like a little bit antique-ish. I ordered a couple different kinds of silicone molds to use for this. Let's open them up and see what they look like. The one in here is really cool. I want to use it for lots of stuff. If I can get it open. Is there two in here? I got two from this company, I guess. Come here. This is just a picture of what you can make with this set. But it is roses. I just think that's gonna be really pretty. Very cool. And then these ones are just more like, what do you call this? Flourish? What do they call it? They don't call it anything. They're just like, I don't know what you call this. What would you call this? Like a flourish? I'm sure there's a proper name for whatever this design is, but I just, yeah, I don't know what it is, but cool anyway. And then, oh yeah, I got this just more simple. Hold on, it's hard to see through the plastic. So this one is just more like simple border decorations. I just thought these would be really fun to play with. And then, so I'm going to use air dry clay, and you just kind of, hopefully, you just press it into here and it makes that shape, and then we'll glue them on to these frames. Let's see if they work. Let's test it out. I want to try a rose. I want to make sure I do one that's gonna fit on one of these frames. It might overlap a little bit, but that's probably okay. I should probably like get a ruler. A ruler might be a good idea. Or measuring tape. I have a measuring tape. Right here. 1 3/4. Oh yeah, I think that'll work too. Okay, cool. I'll bring you back over here so you can see what I'm doing. All right. Which one did I say now? I think this one here and this one. That's awesome. I think I could do a little bit, I think I can do a little bit better job to get a more even impression, but that's so cool. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Okay, let's try again. My clay is a little bit dried out a little bit. I mean, I don't know, that looks pretty good. Then I'll just have to cut the excess around. That was a pretty good one. Yay! I gotta go grab my other tools. I forgot, just a sec. Are we seeing the vision? Are we seeing where this is headed? I want to try to do like a combination of, I don't know if these ones will look good with the roses. Maybe. These frames are kind of small for, I don't know, we'll see. I think maybe with like one of these borders, that could work. There's leaves on here too. I'm gonna do a couple leaves. Okay, I'm just going to do a few of these roses and then I'll come back when I'm done. Okay, I'll show you where we're at so far. I did a couple leaves, a big rose, a couple smaller ones. It's working pretty well so far. I will eventually like paint these and put some rub and buff on them. They will end up looking really cool, I think. I think I'm going to repeat this pattern on the opposite corner and then maybe do like some kind of border in between. Okay, I'm trying one of these border ones now. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Do I like that one? That's pretty. Or I kind of like this like pearly, it's kind of like a pearlish looking one. Oh, my neck. Oh my gosh. What's that one look like? I kind of like that one. It's a little bit more simple. Kind of did it uneven pressure. Got to do even pressure on these ones. There's one, I want to try one of these other ones too. Just one more of these other ones. Ooh, I like that one. I might go with that one for this one. That one for this one. That will be, I think that'll look pretty. I gotta cut the excess off, of course, but okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. So I need I need 4 pieces of it. And I think I can get a better impression too. Oh, my neck is kind of messed up today, and whenever I keep forgetting, sudden movements are not a good idea. Okay. I'm just trying to remove the excess while it's still in here. And then I don't have to try to cut it off after I take it out. Yeah, that kind of worked. Worked pretty good, actually. I'm not exactly sure the best way to like join these up at the corners. Oh, I could try. Let's try this. That worked. Okay. I think that looks a little better. I know you didn't see what I just did, but I'll show you. I'll show you in a second. I think that's really cool. I just need to let this all dry. Probably take a couple days. I'm gonna work on the other one. I'm gonna do a little bit different of a design. Maybe I'll try some of these, but I will check back in with you in a little while. Okay, so this is where I landed for the second one. It's a little bit more simplistic, but I did not want them to be like too matchy-matchy. I think I like this anyway. These molds are just so cool, and I can just see so much potential for future projects using these. There's just like endless combinations of designs that you can do. I'll definitely do more frames in the future, and I'll have to find some other things to decorate too. But for now, I like these. I think these are going to be really cute. So they just need to dry, and then I will move on to the next step. Ew, you're drooling on me. We call this blanket time. We'll just come out here in the evening when it's nice and sit on the blanket and enjoy. I brought a word search. I brought my book that I'm reading. Sometimes if I want to read but I don't quite have the attention span available, I like to start with doing a little bit of a word search to get my brain to quiet down. And then I can start reading. We'll see. I don't really feel like reading right now, but maybe I will. This book is really good. It's called Smother Moss. I haven't read that much of it, but I like it so far. The writing is really good. This is my favorite type of book, where it's just like so descriptive, like almost poetic kind of. Like not a lot is going on yet, but I just really like it so far. It's set in Appalachia. It follows two young sisters. Someone is murdered on the Appalachian Trail. It's kind of fever dreamy. Like one of the sisters has a very, very active imagination, and we're getting like glimpses into her mind and her imagination. And I don't know where this is going to go, but I'm liking it so far. So maybe I will read a little bit. It's a little bit windy out here. It's always a little bit windy out here. I love a book that's set in Appalachia. I just think Appalachia is such an interesting region, and it makes such a good setting for a weird story. Oh, what's that? Is that a vulture? I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that big bird over there? I think it's a turkey vulture. I never get over those turkey vultures. They're so big. Anyway, what was I saying? I love Appalachia as a setting for kind of an eerie, mysterious, weird story. But also what I was going to say is like reading this kind of reminds me of Laurie Ingalls Wilder's Little House in the Big Woods, which is one of my most favorite books when I was little. Just the way they describe like living in the woods. I don't know. Oh shoot, where was I? It's a new day. Let's get back to this project. I changed this one a little bit. Well, quite a bit, actually. The way that I had it before, I realized I could only really use it horizontally, but now I can use it vertically too if I want. Plus, I like the way that it ended up looking. It's a little bit more busy than the other design. So yeah, I glued everything on. The glue is set pretty well. I think that I can go ahead and paint now. I used my favorite weld bond. Can you technically call something your favorite if you've never used anything else? Like, I've really only used this glue for stuff like this, but it works very well. I made this vase, hold on. I made this last spring. First of all, I just wanted to show this off because how freaking cool is this? I'm really proud of how these flowers ended up looking. This took me a very long time to figure out and piece together, but anyway, the glue, these flowers are just held on with this glue and pretty much held together also with the glue. So this has lasted a year so far. Yeah, so works good. Okay, so now I am going to paint these. I'm going to use a dark brown as the base and then do the gold rub and buff over the top. Oh, I need to not forget to take the glass out so I don't get paint on the glass. I think these are good now. I think that they are dry enough to do the next step. So rub and buff. I'm gonna try using this old toothbrush to apply this since it's kind of a bigger area. I do have my little paint brush too, but I just want to see how this works. I put it on a little thick on these first ones, but I'm liking the way it's going on these other ones, and I think it works better if I put it on the plate first and then just like pick up a little bit. I'm gonna just put a little bit more brown paint on top of these ones that I put a little bit too much gold. I think that looks better. Cute. I think that's really cool. I think that looks really cool. Yeah, I love this. Okay, so fun. Let's do the other one. That's just so cool. Crust. I'm pretty impressed with how these turned out. That is so cool. I think that is so cool. I want to make a million of these. Good project. That was a good one. Yeah. I'll link to where I found these molds. This one I ordered through Michael's, but these two more intricate ones came from a business called Decoupage Napkins, which I have ordered stuff from them before. I made these little clay ghosts with the decoupaged napkins onto them. That's how I found this website. It's a very, very literal business name. I found exactly what I needed for that project. So anyway, they had these molds too. So they have all kinds of things for doing like applique and decoupage types of projects. So anyway, I will link to them. And like I said, they were on the pricier side. This was $25. Which on its own isn't bad, but I bought 3. So I'm gonna use these again though. Like I don't even care. I'm gonna use these again and again and again, probably. It's so freaking cool. Seriously, I'm really excited about this. Okay. Recently, one of you said that you wanted to see how I make my pizza, and it's Friday and I have to do the entire process. So let's do it together. I make a batch of dough every other week, and the recipe makes enough that I can freeze half of it to use the next week. I need to mix up a new batch today. I have the recipe on my little chalkboard over here, but it is the recipe from King Arthur's flour, and I can link to it. It's very simple. I don't use King Arthur's flour. I just use gold metal or whatever that flour is. I use the instant rise yeast. It's 7/8 to 1 1/8 cup of water. I've just been using a cup. If the dough is too sticky, then I just add a little bit more flour. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. 1 1/4 teaspoons of salt, and 3 cups of flour. And I think I need to get a new bag of flour out. We'll see. Just made it. Yeah, and then you just mix it till it's combined. I think the recipe says to mix it for 5 minutes, but I never mix it for that long. It takes like 30 seconds to come together. So yeah, it's just like, I don't know what you call this. What do you call it? Like shaggy? I think they call this like a shaggy texture consistency is where I take it to. I'll just like knead this a little bit by hand and then split it in half. Put the half I'm not using into my pizza dough bag, pop it in the freezer, and I do store this bag in the freezer when it's empty. I've been using the same one for a while. I don't know how long. It's a little bit sticky, but that's about right, I think. Then I'll just, like so. The half that I'm gonna bake today, I'll just put a little bit of olive oil in this bowl and put the dough in it to rise. Okay, so then I just cover it with the towel. I put it in the oven with the light on. Just the light. Make sure you don't start your oven with that in there. Yeah, and then it just has to rise for a few hours. It's like 4 o'clock right now, so that'll probably rise for the next 3 hours. Turns out different every time I make it in terms of how much it rises, but it always tastes really good. So in a couple of hours, we will take that out of there and assemble the pizza. So it's been 4 hours. That looks pretty good. Now we got to heat up the pizza stone. $450, and you got to put the pizza stone in before the oven gets hot. It's got to warm up in there while the oven comes to temperature, or it will break. We do very simple toppings. We just do sauce. This is just Kroger, generic brand pizza sauce, Tillamook cheese, and some pepperoni. With the stone, I do the whole pizza before I put it in the oven. If you're not using that, you are supposed to bake the crust on its own for a few minutes, bring it back out, put your toppings on, and then it goes back in the oven until it's done. But with the stone, I just do it all in the beginning. I don't know why necessarily, just because that's what the instructions for the pizza stone were. I suppose I could still do the crust by itself for a few minutes, but I don't. Whatever, it's whatever. It works when I do it all at the beginning. This part's a little tricky. You gotta move it from this wooden board onto the stone. I've got it figured out pretty good by now, but it doesn't always work smoothly. Okay, how long? 12? 13? There's like 15 minutes. All right, well, that's going to be all for this video. I don't really have anything to put in these frames right now. We'll have to figure that out another time, but at least they're ready for when I do find something, and they were really fun to work on. So thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope you had fun, and I will see you next time. Bye.